The villagers thought the dog was cursed. They threw stones at it, chased it away, and called it the filthy stray. But no one knew. That very dog would one day become the hero no one expected. And it all started with a little girl named Amara and a single piece of bread. The village of Umyawaka was small, quiet, and filled with gossip. Everyone knew everyone. And in this village there was one creature no one wanted to know. A scruffy golden retriever with scars across its face, ribs showing through its thin fur, and eyes that carried too much pain for one lifetime. They called him Oak Nikita, the useless dog. The dog wandered from house to house, sniffing the ground for scraps. Children threw stones at him. Market women chased him away with sticks. Men spat at the sight of him. But every night the dog found his way to the empty shed behind the market, curled up on the cold ground and licked his wounds in silence. Amara was only 8 years old, the daughter of a widowed man named Mr. Obi. She was lively, curious, and stubborn, always asking questions the adults didn't like answering. One hot afternoon, Amara was sitting outside her house with a piece of bread in her hand. She was humming to herself when she noticed the scruffy dog limping nearby. Eyes fixed on the bread, other children shouted, "Don't feed it, Amara. That dog is cursed." But Amara tilted her head, studying the dog. She didn't see a monster. She saw hunger. She saw sadness. She saw loneliness, the same loneliness she felt after losing her mother. Without a word, she broke her bread in half and stretched her tiny hand. The dog hesitated, trembling. No one had ever shown him kindness before. He took the bread, gently, almost reverently, from her hand. His tail wagged once, then twice, then faster. For the first time in years, the dog felt hope. That evening, Amara's father, Mr. Obi, noticed the dog following her home. He frowned deeply. "Amara," he barked, "stay away from that animal. It's dangerous. You don't know where it's been." "But Papa," she argued softly, "he was hungry. He only wanted food." Mr. Obi shook his head. "The world is not kind, my daughter, and kindness to the wrong thing can destroy you." Amara lowered her gaze, but inside she felt differently. Something in her heart told her that this dog wasn't like what people said. The very next night, tragedy struck. It was past midnight when Amara's house caught fire. The cause? A lantern left burning too close to a curtain. Flames spread quickly, swallowing the wooden walls. Mr. Obi, exhausted from the day's farm work, was asleep in the front room. Amara, however, was trapped in her tiny bedroom at the back. The smoke grew thicker. Flames licked closer. The little girl coughed, crying out for help, but her weak voice was drowned by the roaring fire. No one heard her, no one except the stray dog. The dog had been lying under a mango tree nearby, his stomach still warm from the bread Amara had given him. Suddenly he saw the smoke. He smelled danger. He sprinted to the house, barking furiously. His barks pierced the silence of the night, waking neighbors. "Nikita again!" Someone shouted. "Drive it away." But the dog refused to stop. He barked louder, pawing at the door, running back and forth until people finally noticed the smoke rising from the roof. "Fire!" a neighbor screamed. The villagers rushed out with buckets of water, shouting and panicking. Mr. Obi was dragged out of the burning house, but when he realized Amara wasn't with him, his knees buckled. "My daughter. Amara is still inside." He screamed. The flames were too fierce. No adult dared to enter. The villagers shook their heads helplessly, whispering, "It's too late." But the dog didn't hesitate. With a single leap, he crashed through the half-broken window. Inside, the heat was unbearable. Amara lay unconscious on the floor, coughing weakly. Tears streaked down her soot-covered face. The dog grabbed the back of her shirt, gently with his teeth, and pulled, with all his strength. The smoke stung his eyes, his fur began to singe, but he didn't let go. Step by step, he dragged her toward the window. With one final push, he leaped out of the window, Amara in his grip. The villagers gasped. The cursed dog had saved the child. Amara coughed and gasped for air, but she was alive. Mr. Obi fell to his knees, cradling her in his arms, tears streaming down his face. And then he looked at the dog-burnt fur, trembling legs, panting heavily, eyes full of exhaustion but also relief. For the first time, Mr. Obie didn't see a filthy stray. He saw a guardian. A savior, he whispered through his tears. Thank you. Just when the villagers began to accept the dog, something shocking happened. A week later, a group of men arrived from a neighboring town. One of them froze when he saw the dog. His eyes widened, and he whispered, "Bruno?" The dog's ears perked up. His tail wagged. The man explained. Years ago, the dog belonged to a family in their town. During a robbery, Bruno had bravely defended them, but he was beaten so badly he barely survived. The family thought he had died and buried an empty box in his honor, but somehow Bruno had wandered away, broken and forgotten. Until now, the villagers gasped. The dog they had despised was once a hero, and now he had proven it again. Mr. Obie faced a decision. Return the dog to his old family or keep him with Amara, but the men shook their heads. If he's found a new home, let him stay. Clearly, fate brought him here. From that day on, Bruno was no longer a stray. He slept by Amara's bed, ate warm meals, and walked proudly through the village that once rejected him. And every night, Mr. Obie would whisper to Amara, "Never doubt the power of kindness, my daughter. The bread you gave away came back to save your life. Sometimes the smallest act of kindness can return to us in ways we never expect. And sometimes the hero we reject is the one who saves us in the end." If you enjoy this story, please like, share, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more mind-blowing stories.